So, ladies and gentlemen, Sydney Sweeney has once again broke the internet twice. Juicy. Juicy!
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Nerd Chronicles with your host, the socially awkward nerd Christian Paul speaking. And y'all, the block has been hot, has been regarding to Sydney Sweeney's controversial ad and her controversial response in regards to the ad, ladies and gentlemen. So for those of you who have not seen the American Eagle ad, there's been an ad that actually discusses about Sydney Sweeney wearing jeans and discusses about having jeans, quote, jeans being passed down from generation to generation, and the imagery of it and the optics was just so horrible. You know what I'm saying? For those that actually would have critical thinking skills, it literally looks like this mainly came out of the Jazz commercial or a Yahtzee commercial with the short mustache dude that comes by up in this little wicked socialist party that they got going on here with the Elon Musk hand salute, if you know what I mean. And I want to try and be very careful on how I describe it due to YouTube community guidelines in regards to this. But it has that type of feel, man, you know, that the alt-right mainly go down on. You know what I'm saying? So Cine actually did a part of that, and also American Eagle. Definitely they were the ones that mainly planned that out as well, and which they were mainly garbage for actually doing this type of stuff. But this is what they intended to do. This is what they actually mainly planned to do. And since it's mainly white owned and right ran, you know, this is their right on how they want to actually get things ran, on how they want to actually promote their company, actually promote their clothing. So, in regards with that, you see with the interview in regards with the GQ interview with that lady that came by, the interview was some key spots in the interview where actually looked at the question. It was okay. And yes, she did call it out, but she did not give, in my personal opinion, a pushback in regards to her mindset, as in regards to the PR when it comes to Sydney Sweeney, as well as the team. And she never gave Sweeney pushback. And during the clips, the times she was actually giggling with Sydney at that time in regards to that controversial outtake. So really, in regards with those two, they may be in on it together for all we know. But all I'm going to say is this. Whenever you listen to what somebody says and they're very firm and they're not hesitant on it and they actually stand pat, they actually stand pat and they just real calm and stone-faced about it, believe them. Because more than likely, that's who they are deep down behind the scenes. And this is what we are seeing mainly with Sydney Sweeney, ladies and gentlemen. So whenever she said, hey, if there's an interest in something that I really will want to actually talk about, you will know. And in this case with the American Eagle ad, she don't care. What she's basically saying, she only cares about actually supporting her own base that's definitely within her own kind of people. You know what I'm saying? That practice that culture of anti-black racism, primarily in any form of ism that she mainly think about, you know? She's going real hard to actually appease to MAGA, you know what I'm saying? The MAGA crowd, as well as the alt-right, and the people that actually just soak into the white manosphere and the pseudo-alpha guru content in regards to all of these things. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what she wants to do, which is her right. And she is actually very calculated, and her team is very calculated on how she wants to mainly play all these things out.
We're sort of talking around this American Eagle ad right now, and maybe we should just talk about it. So, were you surprised by the reaction?
I did a jean ad. I mean, the reaction definitely was a surprise, but it was, I love jeans. All I wear are jeans. I'm literally in jeans and a t-shirt like every day of my life.
Jeans are uncontroversial. Jeans are awesome.
Yeah, I like your jeans.
You look great in your jeans. I think I know how you're going to answer this, but I'm going to ask anyway. I mean, the president tweeted about the jeans ad, or Truth Socialed about the jeans ad, and that just seems to me like a very crazy moment for anyone, and I wondered what that was like.
It was surreal.
It was surreal. And it would be totally human. I would probably feel like thankful that somebody had my back in public, you know, and conveniently some very powerful people had my back in public. And I wondered if you felt that way.
I don't think that, it's not that feeling I didn't have that feeling, but I wasn't thinking of it like that, or like of any of it. I kind of just put my phone away. I was filming every day. I'm filming Euphoria, so I'm working like 16-hour days, and I don't really bring my phone on set, so I work and then I go home and I go to sleep. So I didn't really see a lot of it.
You've made a really good case for keeping your thoughts and your life separate from that work. But the risk is that, you know, there's a chance that somebody will get some idea about what you think about certain issues and feel like, I don't want to see Christy because of that. Like, do you worry about that?
No. If somebody is closed off because of something they read online to a powerful story like Christy, then I hope something else can open their eyes to being open to art and being open to learning, and I'm not gonna be affected by that.
Yeah. You've come here like really willing to talk about this whole discourse that doesn't have that much to do with you, and I'm grateful for that. Is there something that you want to say about the ad itself? The Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Do you have...
The ad spoke for itself.
You think the ad spoke for itself?
Yeah.
Okay. And the criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like, white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like, that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Now, Sydney Sweeney, right? She's a young actress, which we know. She is... Hollywood's trying to push her to be more up and coming and more box office material. But at the moment, she is a bit mediocre at best. And that interview with that ad doesn't really fully help at all, right? It actually looks very worse. It looks worse on PR. It looks worse on the image. And that's going to follow Sydney for a very, very long time. But given Sydney's mentality, given Sydney's know-about and what she has actually explained on the interview, she don't care. And that's fine. And, you know, her movies are currently flopping. She's not really the big-time actress right now that Hollywood is really trying to push her to be. Basically, and also I do want to also take notes. She was born in Washington and raised in Idaho for most of her childhood. Lily White, Idaho. All right, barely any diversity up in Idaho. Barely any black people specifically up in Idaho. And she's more like a mediocre actress at best, which is fine. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. But let it be other races, especially black people, that to try and come by. We can't even be mediocre because them folks out here would not even allow it at all because they are salty. And Sydney is just like them folks with that mentality because he comes from that same culture. Most of her family members have been wearing MAGA hats literally during her mom's birthday party, mind you. Okay, so I do want to actually just try and make it very clear. It's alleged that she's a red state Republican, and I think she's more on like the alt-right crowd that she's trying to appease to. She's definitely trying to appease to with like the Dukes of Hazzard look, with like the pseudo red pill gurus, the pseudo alpha gurus, having their big sausage fest, looking to literally ejaculate milk all over the place and have everything explode. You know what I'm saying? She's looking for that crowd. She's talking to that crowd. She's talking to that MAGA crowd to mainly appease. She could care less if she stays mediocre or not, just like with the path that Taylor Swift is going. And as for American Eagle, I would not even bother buying anything from that brand. I know Travis Kelce's done a deal with American Eagle with like his clothing line. I still stay away from it after that fiasco that's been mainly going down. You know what I'm saying? Had Sydney came out and she was a bit naive and she didn't notice that it was controversial and she actually pointed it out and say, hey, this episode was not my intent. I apologize for what really went wrong. I denounced the racism that's coming up on there. I just didn't realize at the time, and I truly apologize for it. Many of us definitely would have moved on, but because she's very nonchalant and she's very laid back and she did not even give an answer, the mindset is mainly revealed at that particular point. So I would advise many of y'all, that's basically what her mindset is. Just leave her alone. Just don't partake in the movies. Just don't partake in their events. Go on with your day. You ain't gotta be saying herself. You ain't gotta be part of her fanhood. Just let her be. Let her live life. Let her run off to the MAGA crew, literally wild and free, literally gonna go whole, acting a fool. Let they have their own beefs, let them try to feel what's in there. You ain't gotta be part of that nonsense. All right? Move on. Let them be. Let them go on their merry ways. You got other stuff that's keeping you busy. Well, at the very least, you just know the mentalities of some folks and how they may act on who they really are.